An obedient dog doesn't always mean a well-behaved dog. Let me tell you why. Many of my clients come in and their dogs already have skill sets, such as their obedience commands like sit, down, stay, place, etc. But they don't know how to behave whenever they're not being directly prompted into what to do. So when they come to see me, it's because they still struggle with behavioral issues such as anxiety, fear, reactivity, aggression, or resource guarding, even though they know how to sit, they can down, they can place, they can stay, but they still struggle with those behavioral issues. Now, obedience is really, really important. It's very helpful to be able to tell your dog to sit and they know how to sit and hold that position. It's very helpful to be able to place your dog when somebody's coming through the doorway, but it is not, I repeat, it's not the solution for behavioral problems. A well-behaved dog is one that can, yes, fulfill commands, but one that also knows how to make good decisions in general. They know how to greet people politely through the doorway without being told to sit or down. They know how to respond when they go into public situations and they see other people or other dogs. They're not barking, they're not jumping, they're not lunging or doing anything inappropriate whenever they get a little bit excited. For example, if you have a reactive dog, a lot of trainers will tell you to put the dog in a sit or a down or a heel so that it doesn't have the ability to react because it's fulfilling a command. But that's just not always the case. It's not always going to help you because the dog is not reacting out of disobedience. It's reacting because it feels really big feelings about that, whatever that trigger is for the dog, and it doesn't know what to do, so then it reacts. I just finished training a German Shepherd who is absolutely brilliant. He came in knowing all of his commands. He was really, really solid in all obedience. Sit, down, place, great recall, all of the above, all of the fancy tools, but he was an anxious mess. He could not settle, he could not relax, he always needed to do something. Despite his really, really strong obedience, this is a dog that was still very anxious all the time, always was a stimulation seeker, had to be doing something, and he was very reactive anytime you took him outside to cars, to wildlife, to other dogs, etc. Now, I see this all the time when I'm working with dogs because there is a massive difference between obedience and behavior, and a lot of trainers don't know that. They try to counter your dog's bad behavioral problems with good obedience. And that's just not the way to do it. Now, like I said, obedience is very, very important. It's something I train all of my clients on, making sure that their dog does have very good obedience. Like I said, it's very helpful, but the focus for me always is on behavior over obedience, making sure that your dog can make good decisions when they see other dogs, when they see other people, when they get excited. And yes, I always train obedience, but my focus is always on behavior. A well-behaved dog is absolutely a dog that knows commands and can fulfill them for you consistently, but it's also a dog that makes good decisions on its own without being prompted to with a command. Nobody wants to have to micromanage their dog with obedience commands all day long. Behavior modification is something that takes time. You have to be consistent, you have to have good timing, and overall you just have to always show up for your dog, knowing that the way that you look at things has to be different when you're dealing with behavior modification. You can't create good habits overnight. Those habits that you don't like were not shaped overnight either. So you do have to put in the time, the repetitions, but it absolutely is possible. Obedience is easy. Once you know how to train obedience, the average Joe Schmo off the street could train it, right? Once you teach your dog and you know the importance of your marker words and timing of reward or correction, anybody can train obedience. And that's why you see a ton of different dog trainers out there, because obedience is really, really easy. If you're dealing with something that is a behavioral problem, anxiety, fear, reactivity, aggression, resource guarding, you don't train through that, you don't overcome that with obedience alone. This is something that I make sure that I train with my clients, making sure that they can do everything that I can do with their dog, making sure that they're setting their dog up for success when they are actively training with them, but also when they're not in the moment training with their dog. And that's what separates me from many other trainers, is that I know the difference between obedience and behavior, and I make sure that you do too.